YouTube Bounty community, Beach Boys fans, random people on the internet, my name is Giggens and we're here today for a topic video. What would you like to see in the next Beach Boys box set? We have been absolutely spoiled with Fuel Flows and Sail on Sailor, and it's happened 2 years in a row, which is like pretty mind-blowing. So there's rumors of what might happen next, and I'm curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are. So obviously, they're going to have to cover 15 big ones. If they're doing this in order, which seems to be the case, this guy's up next, followed by Love You and the MIU album. Now, for me, what I would love to see is either one of two things. The first option would be get as many of the surviving 1974 tapes that exist. There aren't that many because there was apparently a fire at Caribou Ranch at some point. A lot of things got lost. But whatever does exist, put it out. I would love a 1975 Beachago tour concert album. You know, hearing them live from 1975, I think would be really cool because their set list was changing at that point. And, you know, and the summer was out by then, so they were playing some of the older stuff. So I'd love to hear a really well, you know, soundboard quality live show from that era. And then all the other things that happened during 15 big ones that didn't make the album. I think that would be a really cool, like, you know, obviously reissue the album. Disc 2 could be like leftovers from this and the 1974 stuff, and Disc 3 could be a live album of that 1975 era. Now, I don't necessarily know if I'd make just this album its own box set. It could work, but I don't know how well it would sell, to be honest with you. If you did include the 1974 stuff, this album, maybe a handful of live tracks, and then Love You and Adult Child and MIU. There's just so much to work with in that time frame. You're talking a 4-year time frame, not just 2 years, it's 4. So I almost feel like this era would be its own box set, and then the Love You, Adult Child, MIU album would be its own box set as well. But here's the cool thing about doing it that way. Each era gets its own time to breathe. So if you're going to look at like the 1974, 75, 76 era, definitely do a live album. Definitely do the extra songs from here, the 1974 Caribou stuff. And whatever else might be exciting from that era, maybe some interviews, some promos, whatever you can dig up. And then the next box set would absolutely have to be the Beach Boys' Love You, what became the Adult Child stuff, and then what became the MIU album. Because there's a lot from that era to cover, especially the Christmas stuff they were working on at that time, which became some of the songs from MIU. You've got a lot of stuff to work with, let alone live album material as well. So that's kind of where I see the next two box sets, focusing on one from 74 to 76, covering, you know, the America's Band era, the Spirit of America, and the Summer 15 Big Ones era, and then doing for Love You, Adult Child, MIU. I think that would make for a really fascinating next two box sets, because cramming all of that into one box set, not only would it be too expensive because there'd be like several albums into one box set, it'd be too expensive and honestly too much at one point, like too much to digest. Granted, you can live with it for several years and just enjoy it as you go, but it's too much. You gotta concentrate it a little bit. So that's kind of where I'm at for the next two box sets. Just curious, what are your guys' ideas for what you want to see in the next box sets? What kind of unreleased studio stuff would you want to see? Is there a particular concert you've read about that you'd love to hear? You know, instead of radio interviews that you'd love to see dug up and put onto an album? What are your thoughts? Very curious to hear. So there you go. My name is Giggens. Those are my options for what I think I'd like to see in the next couple of Beach Boys releases. Tell me what you think in the comments below, and we'll get chatting about the 15 Big Ones era and the Love You, MIU, all that kind of stuff. So thanks for watching. And let's chat about it. See you guys. Bye.